Chapter 4. Major Landforms. The surface of the earth is made up of land and water. About 71% of the earth's surface is water and about 29% is land. You have already read that the earth is divided into large land masses called continents and large water bodies called oceans. In this chapter, you will study various landforms on the earth, their significance, and their important features. Landforms. The surface of the earth is not uniform or even at all places. At some places it is high, while at other places it is low. This variation in the earth's surface creates various landforms. Landforms are also known as relief features. Some of the major landforms include mountains, plateaus, plains, deserts, and rivers. Mountains. A part of land quite higher than its surrounding areas is called mountain. They are very high. Mountains usually have steep sloping sides and sharp or slightly rounded or conical peaks. Hills are small mountains that are not very high. A chain of mountains running close to each other is called mountain range. The Himalayas and the Andes are examples of mountain ranges. Mountains differ in height and shape. This happens due to the age of the mountains. For example, the Himalayas are new mountains, so they are very high mountains with sharp peaks. On the other hand, the Aravallis are old mountains, so they are smaller in height with rounded peaks. Features of mountains. The peaks of the higher mountains remain covered with snow most of the time, so the vegetation in these parts of the mountains is scanty. Due to the steep slopes and extreme cold, the mountainous regions of the world are generally thinly populated. People mostly live on the foothills and the lower parts of the mountains. The mountains form a natural barrier against cold and hot winds. The Himalayas protect our country from the cold wind coming from the north. The snow-filled mountains are the sources of many rivers. These rivers provide water to many areas on the earth. The mountain slopes are rich in flora and fauna. The mountains are also a rich source of minerals. The mountains and the regions around them also develop as great tourist spots. Plateaus. Highlands with almost flat top are termed as plateaus. They are also known as tableland. They are separated from the surrounding areas by steep slopes. Plateaus are found in almost all the continents. Features of plateaus. Different kinds of plateaus have different kinds of vegetation. Low plateaus are often farming regions, while high plateaus are usually suitable for the rearing of cattle and sheep. Some plateaus are extremely large and cover hundreds of kilometers. For example, the Deccan Plateau in India is a large plateau which extends over 8 Indian states. Some plateaus are rich in mineral resources. For example, the Chota Nagpur Plateau in India is rich in coal, iron ore, bauxite, manganese, mica, and copper. Some of the plateaus have deep canyons, such as the Grand Canyon in the Colorado Plateau of the United States of America. Several rivers flow through plateaus. Do you know? The Tibetan Plateau is the highest plateau in the world. It is also called the roof of the world. Plains. Plains are low and flat lands that extend over thousands of kilometers. There are no great changes in elevation across plains. Plains are generally formed by rivers that rise in the mountains and flow down. In the process, these rivers deposit sand and silt along the riverbeds. Over a period of time, plains are formed by these deposits. For example, the northern plains in India have been formed by the river Ganga. Plains can be found around the sea or in the interiors of the continents. Features of plains. Since most of the plains are formed by the silt brought down by rivers, they are very fertile. Many crops are grown in the plains. Plains are thickly populated as compared to the mountains and plateaus. Many towns and cities are located in the plains. Even in the earlier periods, many important civilizations developed on the riverbanks. Good transport facilities, availability of water, and rich fertile soil make the plains best suited for human settlement. River. A river is a large natural stream of water that flows towards an ocean, a lake, a sea, or another river. A river usually begins in the mountains and ends its journey in a sea or an ocean. During the course of this journey, it passes through 3 different stages. The first stage of the river is its upper or youthful stage. In this stage, the river flows rapidly down the mountain slopes and cuts through the mountains, forming a V-shaped valley, waterfalls, rapids, and canyons. The second stage, or the mature stage of the river, begins as it enters the plains. Here it swells and becomes broad as it is joined by its tributaries. It deposits silts on its sides, making them fertile. The speed of the river decreases in this stage. In this stage, the river makes meanders or loops. The third stage of the river is also known as the old stage. The movement of the river becomes very slow in this stage. Just before entering the sea, it branches out into many small streams called distributaries. At this stage, the river also makes a triangular island called delta by depositing the sediments. The Sundarban Delta in India is formed by the river Ganga. Another example of a delta is the Nile Delta in Africa. Deserts. A vast piece of land covered with sand is called desert. It has an extreme type of climate. Because of the extreme climatic conditions, there are limited plants and animals found in deserts. Features of deserts. The deserts experience extreme climate. The days are very hot and nights are cold in these areas. The deserts are extremely dry. There is very little rainfall. Sandstorms are common in the deserts. As the winds blow, the sand collects from one place to another and forms sand dunes. Sand dunes are small hills of sand. They change their place when the direction of wind changes. Desert plants include cacti and date palms. Oases are small water pools that spring up at some places in the desert. Date palms grow around an oasis. Deserts are usually located in the western part of the continent. Some of the famous deserts of the world are the Sahara in Africa, Thar Desert in India, Great Sandy Desert in Australia, and Patagonia in South America.